The views and opinions on this podcast do not necessarily reflect those of the executive producer or the sponsors. They are those of the hosts and guests only. We believe freedom of conscience means the right to speak free, to think and believe as you will without the imposition of official coercive power over those beliefs. Liberty cannot exist when people are forced to conform their thoughts and expression to an official viewpoint. Differences of opinion are the natural byproducts of a vibrant, free society. Thank you. Live from Studio Diablo in Chicago, Illinois, this is MK Ultrasound.
Get with the countdown.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man. Blast off for Kicksville. Shake this square world. Blast off for Kicksville.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man. Get with the countdown.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man. Blast off for Kicksville. Shake this square world. Blast off for Kicksville.
The fuck is that?
Forget it, man.
Here she comes. What the fuck? Hey, Alex, what the fuck is that noise? Hey, what the fuck is going on here? Charlie, don't start it. Guys, come on, what the fuck, man? What the fuck is that fucking noise, man? What's going on? Stop playing the fucking song. Look. Fucking Alex. What? Fix the fucking thing. What's going on? Stop fucking playing it. Stop playing. I said don't play it. What are you fucking doing, Alex? Fix the fucking noise. What the fuck is that fucking noise? Stop fucking playing. Stop fucking playing to that close. Stop playing. What the fuck? Fix that fucking noise. I can't fucking take it. I'm leaving spaghetti. Bye. Hey, where you going?
Alexander here, MK Ultra Magazine, the MK Ultrasound podcast, and I played that song one other time. Was for Mr. Alex Grassi, who was on the show, and now you have two more Alexes here. It's Alexander, and now the singer of Blaze Francisco. Hey man, how you doing?
Good, man. Good. I'm honored to be the next Alex in line. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get Alex Van Halen next time. So
I think that's doable for sure. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, first of all, got to give a shout out to Raquel. She's a hell of a publicist, isn't she?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. The best.
Yeah, no, you're not. Back in the day, as I've been in this business for a long time, the phone used to just burn up all day. Publicists calling, sending press kits, following up. Now everything is email blasts, and
yeah.
Raquel actually picks up the phone and calls. So yeah, she's one of the rare ones.
I think that's the best way to make these connections. With anybody, it's the most personal way. So I'm truly grateful for it, for sure.
And I have to mention, you were also Mr. August 2019 on a nice Jewish guy's calendar.
Oh man, I didn't think that was going to come out. But, yep,
how does one go about getting that?
That's a great question, Alex. So I did a lot of acting. I still do sometimes, but I had an agent who hit me up about it. They're like, hey, they're casting for this thing. Show up to this building. If you want to audition for it, I'm like, okay, well, it's LA. That sounds like every audition I've ever gone to. So I went, and they're like, hey, so we're doing a calendar. It's called the Nice Jewish Guys Calendar. We're going to sell it in like bookstores. Do you have any interest in doing it? You look like a nice Jewish guy. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. Why not? So I wish it was more exciting, but that is literally how it happened. And then it came out like 2 years later than when I did it.
Oh, wow. Okay. So
yeah.
In your acting career, though, are you originally from California?
No. So I'm from South Florida, like kind of the Fort Lauderdale area.
Okay.
Born and raised down there. And then in about 2013, I moved to New York and went to an acting school there for a couple of years, and then went right to LA after that. And I've been here for about 7 years now.
Kind of did the Jim Morrison thing.
Exactly. I'm just following his path and playing at the whiskey. I'm just really following the footsteps there.
Yeah. Raquel was pushing that on me, that you do shows at the whiskey, and I also saw you did some at the formerly known as the what was Johnny Depp's bar, the Viper Room.
Yeah, the Viper Room. Yeah,
they took that thing down, I heard.
It's still up. I heard that too. There was some talk that they were going to close it, and then that was actually right around when we played there for the first time. So I was thinking that this might be the first and last show we would do there, but it's still open. So I don't know if that's still happening or if someone bought them out. But yeah, they're still kicking. They're still around.
Oh wow! I have a friend here who runs a bar who used to work out there, and he was at the at the Whiskey a lot, the Rainbow a lot, and of course Viper Room. And he tells me stories. I've only been out to Hollywood once, and that was for a Cleopatra Records event way back in 2002. So it's been a while.
Oh, nice.
How do you like it?
Oh, I love it. I mean, we're still a fairly new band. I've been playing music, my whole life. But as far as being like the singer-songwriter of something, it's a pretty new thing for me. And we've just really been able to kind of take off in that scene that you just mentioned, like the Hollywood rock scene. It's been really cool just playing at those venues and, just sort of just being in those venues, you really feel the sense of that history. It's kind of like you're playing in like a rock and roll museum.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty amazing. Yeah, it's awesome.
Without a doubt. So acting, I saw you did a number of commercials. Any shows that we may know of, movies, or even like small parts?
Yeah, I've done some background stuff. I did something on this show called Bloodline, which is like a Netflix show. I did like small...
that took place in Florida, right?
It did, yeah, in the Keys. So when I was living in... Yeah, it's great. It's really cool. It was a very, very small thing that I did, but they were shooting it down there, and I was not that far. So the things I would shoot in Florida, I would always get calls for, and luckily that was one of them. It was mainly commercials, which is why the bulk of my stuff was commercials, specifically fast food commercials. Okay. I think they just maybe always need someone like me for like a McDonald's commercial or something, but. That was probably like the coolest thing that I would say that I got to do. It was a great experience.
Nice. I actually read something that you got into music seriously right around, or started recording right around the pandemic.
Yeah. So I was doing a lot of acting right before that, and then it completely shut down. Everything shut down, obviously, and I just sort of found myself wanting or needing a creative outlet, and I just was kind of messing around with my computer, and I wrote a couple songs, and I'm like, this is a great outlet. I don't know if anything's really going to come of this. And then I just kind of sent it to a friend of mine, who now, his name is Nate. He produces all of my stuff now, and he's like, this has some legs, let's do something with this. That's kind of how it took off, just from there.
I like how a lot of the people I know who are musicians 24/7, it's a full-time job, they found creative ways to do things on YouTube. I like that a lot, seeing people in their own spaces. Could have been an independent band, like a Chicago band or a Pittsburgh band, but a lot of the big acts, like especially some of the Anthrax guys, were doing that, jamming with other people and songs, and Gibby Haynes was one. That was a fun time to watch people keep their creativity going, and I'm sure there was a lot of writing as well. Is that same for you?
Oh, absolutely. And I think that stuff was super inspiring to me. I don't think maybe at this point it'd be different, but at that time I didn't have the balls to, go do a live stream or do anything like that. But I was watching all of those, and I think it was really inspiring. And I'm like, yeah, the world is pretty much shut down. At least, we are. And I think the fact that these guys just have it inside of them and they have to get it out, and they're using this kind of new medium to do it, was super inspiring to me. And I think that's kind of what drove me more than anything.
Great. And I'm looking forward to playing your new song, but we're going to do that last. We're going to open up with the song Hard Day. Can you give us some background on that, please?
Yeah, so that's actually the first song that I ever wrote. Exactly what we're talking about. So during COVID, I've had this little groove in my head, and it's a little bit different than the stuff we play now, but I put it out and it actually did pretty well. I think people just kind of like the vibe of it. But I'd say, yeah, so it's a fun tune, and it's kind of the first thing that people started to sort of know us for.
All right. We'll be back in about 3 minutes on the MK Ultrasound podcast with Alex of Blaze Francisco.
I know it's been a hard day, and I never wanna see you feel this way. Well, I know it's been a hard day, so come lay with me, and this is where we'll stay. I know know it's been a hard day. So come lay with me, and this is where we'll stay. I know it's been a hard day, and I never wanna see you feel this way. Well, I know it's been a hard day, so come lay with me, and this is where we'll stay. Monday night, Tuesday morning, another flight. It's London calling, private jet. You big ballin', take a shot. You Michael Jordan, dim the light. You sun scorching, SPF like 1400. Never fret, no stalling. Pillow talk, the blanket's calling. Florida man, but the whip is foreign. You Snow White, we 7 dolphin. Movie night, just to boost endorphins. In the range, and now we mighty morphin. Oh, it's been a hard day. I never wanna see you feel this way. Well, I know it's been a hard day. So come lay with me, and this is where we'll stay.
All right. Nice one, man.
And yeah,
First song out of the
funny
gate.
yeah, it's funny to hear that. It's been a while, but yeah, it's a fun one.
It's hard to believe it's been like right about this week will be 4 years since they shut us down here in
Yeah.
Illinois. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
I remember coming off work that day. They said we're going to be off for 2 weeks. And then 2 days later, after the podcast, we're in a restaurant and everybody's phone blew up. So everything's closing down. And that was it.
It's crazy. Yeah, I was supposed to go back to Florida for my best friend's wedding, and I went down the week before, and they had to cancel the wedding, and I just ended up kind of staying in Florida because it's a long story. I just kind of spent like 5 months in Florida with my family, and was kind of shut myself in a room and was doing this kind of stuff. So
And what do you what instruments do you play all
So I write everything on the keys, but my first instrument was drums. Drums is like my main instrument, but for writing purposes, the keys are what I use kind of for everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers in the production of your music that interests me, and that's something I'm a big fan of. But your live show, what's that consist of?
Yeah, so I'm on vocals, a little bit of tambourine too, but vocals is my main thing, and then I have usually a guitar, bass, and drums, and then we have like a couple tracks, but it's not anything. It's just like little small layering stuff for tracks, but it's usually a 4-piece, and yeah, it's I sing, jump around like a madman. That's kind of my title.
Yeah, I was listening to The Reaper again this morning. Really want to get into it, and that's your new single.
Yeah, that's the one we just put out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. And I just listening to that song and the changes. I'm a huge fan of that in music. And,
thanks, man.
Yeah, and just like the long fade out. But we'll be hearing that later. Tell us a little bit about your day to day.
Yeah, so my day to day, I do work a day job. I won't get too into it because it's not that exciting, but I do something just to kind of pay bills and things like that. But I still do try to keep a lot of toes in the creative world. When I'm not working, I'm writing music. I'm pitching music out to play shows and do things like that, or I'm acting if it, the opportunity calls. So whenever I'm not, working or grinding, I'm just doing something creative with my free time. That's just kind of what I try to do. And as of recent, the music has kind of started to been taken off a little bit. So I'm trying to kind of give everything I have to that whenever I can.
Is that when you decided to get a publicist?
Yeah. It was me. A lot of it was for this new song because I'd kind of been sitting on the song for a couple of years and I hadn't put anything out. I put out an EP right before I put out Hard Day, And it was just kind of like a little like passion, sort of like very niche thing that I put out. And then I kind of scrubbed it off of, the internet because it wasn't anything that really sounds like what I'm doing now. So I took it off, and then the rebirth was kind of like a rebirth of like what our current sound sounds like. So I knew that I wanted some help putting that out and just some help getting the word out for that song. Cause that's, when you come to see us, like that's the sound that you're sort of getting when you see us. So I want to kind of like reintroduce people to that sound. And that's, that's been the greatest help for me is with
Cool.
that.
The next one up is Side Eye. And this is a demo, or do I have that right?
You do, yeah. So Side Eye is coming out in a couple months. So this, first time it's been played. It's still being worked out right now, but I just wanted to share it with you just because it's another song that is a very popular one when we play it live,
Okay.
and I think it'll be a great one. Yeah.
Let's jump into that, and we'll be right back with Alex. And he's from the great band out of, are you a Hollywood-based band, or would you say Los Angeles-based band?
Just Los Angeles in general. Yeah.
All right. On the MK Ultrasound podcast, this is an unreleased tune called Side Eye.
It's easy to please, it goes bang, bang, bang to the tune of disease. Should we sing a song for the land of the free, or watch it all burn down? Sounds sexy to me. It's worth a bird in the nest to live and then digress. So if you're feeling the heat, then say it with your chest. Just overflowing the pump, our mothers live in the dump. We gotta shake things up, so go ahead and jump, jump.
Every great day starts with a cup of get the fuck out of bed coffee from Martin Atkins and Dark Matter Coffee. Go to darkmattercoffee.com. Look for the big red logo that says get the fuck out of bed. America runs on damage, and it all starts with a cup of get the fuck out of bed coffee. There are 10 commandments and there are 7 deadly sins, but there is only one MK Ultra magazine. Visit us daily online at www.mkultramagazine.com for entertainment news, reviews, and interviews. mkultramagazine.com, home of Alexander's Diary of a Damned Man. That's mkultramagazine.com.
Well, Alex, I can certainly see why Side-Eye's a crowd favorite. It's a rocker, man. It's a real rocker.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I love that one. That's a really fun one to play live too.
What's the
really,
background
really cool.
on the lyrical inspiration on that one?
The lyrics?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I was just really thinking about how it says it in the song, but just that most people don't give a fuck about you. Pretty straight up. So I think, no matter what's going on around you, you can kind of just see someone struggling for help on the side of the street and drive right past them. And it's kind of just that mentality that, people will put on a smile and pretend like they care. But in general, most people don't really give two shits about you. And so it's basically just screaming about that for a little bit.
Nice. Now, you mentioned you were in New York. How long were you in New York City, and for how long?
I was in New York from 2013 to about 2015, so almost 2 years.
Okay. Were you working there, or?
I was in an acting school there. Yeah. So I was doing like a lot of theater acting. I went to the conservatory there. So I was acting in that school, and then I was bartending too, just to kind of, pay my bills at the time.
I was only there once, and ironically, it was 1 week before 9/11 happened.
Oh, no way.
So I got to see it as it was for the last time, and it was cool, man. I came in, I'd never been there before. I'd pop into a record label office. They'd close up and they'd have liquid lunch for us and give me a list of hot spots to go to, like bars and cool things, and a lot of touristy, but they showed me some rock and roll places that I really enjoyed. And during the day I walked around the village and just bought things off the street with all the vendors. It's one thing.
That's the best.
Oh, I thought so, because we have nothing like that here, but it was
Oh
unique.
yeah, I love New York so much. I haven't been back in a bit. It's personally, it's not somewhere that I think I'd be able to live, only because I'm not really that like type A sort of personality that I think those people really thrive in New York. But I love visiting, and just, because there's always something going on. There's so many great spots, but it's one of my favorite places, without a doubt.
And then LA, it was the natural thing to do.
Yeah. I had some friends that were making the move from New York to LA. And then I got another, an acting opportunity out here, and I pursued it, and then just really, quickly established a network out here, and just decided that I loved it. I saw it as a really great mix between Florida and New York. It has like a lot of the aspects of the coastal part of Florida, but then it has the culture and creative side that New York had. So it gelled very well for me.
All right, so it's time to jump into the annoying audio bites game, and this is something that I was inspired by my brother, and of all people, Norm Macdonald. And Norm Macdonald would just say these off-the-wall things. He didn't care. So, and then my brother, he does special effects and this warehouse, and he's the head guy. And he'll put on a loop of like all day long, Paul Stanley ranting on stage, every one of Paul Stanley's rants, and he'll play it for 8 hours loud just to annoy people. So it inspired me. So I'm going to run down the list. It's growing longer every week. And this is what you have to pick for. So just pick one of these and we'll play it. And some are more annoying than the others, like, of course, Andrew Dice Clay. But we got Larry David cussing out Suri on Curb Your Enthusiasm. Then we have the Tourette's restaurant from Curb Your Enthusiasm, and the Seinfeld Ass Man mix, which was made for this show, the Best Cry Ever mix, Samuel L. Jackson yelling at you, every cocksucker from Deadwood, every time Walter White yells Jesse in Breaking Bad, Paul Stanley for 2.5 minutes. So that saves you about 5.5 hours or 7.5 hours, what my brother would do on stage. Van Halen, Running with the Devil vocal track only. Alex Jones in the Gay Frogs mix. Bad Santa 1 and 2, the short fucking version at 4 minutes 11 seconds, and 5 minutes of Gran Torino, all insults and racial slurs. Alex, what will it be?
Man, so many of my favorite things on there. That's a really hard choice. I'm gonna narrow it down to anything Larry David based because that's what I grew up on. So I'm gonna go with the Seinfeld, the Ass Man mix, because raised on Seinfeld, got to do it.
And it never gets old, does it? You could just watch them over and over and still laugh. But okay, here we go. This was done by my producer Mark Williams for me back when we first started this show, and here is the Ass Man mix.
Ass Man? These don't belong to me. I'm not the Ass Man. I think there's been a mistake.
What's your name again?
Cosmo Kramer.
Cosmo Kramer. You are the ass man.
Ass, titties. No, I'm not the ass man.
Ass, titties, as far as the state of New York is concerned,
titties,
you are.
Ass and titties. Ass man, ass titties, ass and titties. Ass man, ass man.
Dr. Cosmo Kramer, proctologist.
Ass man, ass man.
Did you get your new plates? Oh, yeah, I got my new plates. But they mixed them up. Somebody got mine and I got their vanity plates. What did they say? Ass man, ass man.
Ass man, ass man.
Hey, I'll give him ass man.
Ass man, ass man.
Ass man, ass man.
Ass man.
Yeah, ass man, Jerry. I'm Cosmo Kramer.
Ass man, ass man, ass man, ass man, ass man.
Siri, directions to Wolf's Glen.
Directions to Great Wolf Lodge.
No, Siri, Wolf's Glen Restaurant.
One option I see, Woods Garden Supply on Benedict Canyon.
Siri, Wolf's Glen Restaurant in Westwood.
One option I see, the Wolseley Restaurant in Burbank.
No, you're not listening. I said Wolf's Glen Restaurant in Westwood.
A wolf's den is a habitat that provides wolves with
Oh, you
protection from weather
stupid
and
fucking
predators.
idiot! It's Wolf's Glen Restaurant in Westwood!
One option I see, J. Wolf Clothing.
No, you fuck! Wolf's Glen Restaurant!
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Oh my god, you fucking moron! It's Wolf's Glen, you cunt!
Bunt cake is a cake that is baked in a bunt
I
pan.
said you cunt! I said you cunt!
Sorry, I didn't get
I
that.
called you a cunt!
One option I see, Carson City, Nevada.
Ah, shut up!
One option I see, wool gloves.
Shut the fuck up!
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Oh, fuck you!
I had to throw that in there.
I'm so glad I got the 2-for-1. I was going to say that's a special treat.
I gotta say, man, Richard Lewis. I kind of grew up on that guy. What a shame.
That was really, really sad one for me. Yeah, I mean, aside from Curb and just anything, he was involved with there, obviously just an iconic legend in comedy. I'm a huge comedy buff too, so that was just really sad. Yeah.
Old school guy. I remember him on like the talk show circus way back, before Leno. It was Carson and Letterman. And he was always like neurotic guy.
Yes.
But he was out of Columbus, Ohio, which is where I got my start in the music business. And, we always talk to people at Ohio State, like people who had known him. And, I never got to even meet him, but it would have been nice. It was one of the original guys, man, one of those 80s comics.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was a special breed of comic at that point. And he's still, even to the day, I think, he passed. He was just, he was that guy, unashamed to be himself at all times. It was just awesome.
Yep. One of those first guys that make fun of himself.
Yeah, absolutely. And now I feel like that's such, that has become the golden standard of comedy.
My friend from LA, I mentioned, who moved here, we've been losing a lot of friends lately. And he said, we're getting that age where we're going to start seeing it happen more and more. And you never get numb to it, man. You just never get numb to it. You think, okay, how many more? You just, every time it hurts, and it hurts in a different way.
Yeah, and I was, not to get, too grim, but I was talking to someone about that, even if, I've had people in my life that have lived, a very long time, just relatives and things like that. And, you know, no matter how old you are, it doesn't, you know, even if it's like quote unquote your time, it just doesn't make it easy. It's a shame, you know, you just hate to see it, but you know, I guess it's part of life.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
That takes us to the Reaper. And I've got to say, once I read,
natural transition.
And I didn't mean for that to happen. Oops. I guess I'm a natural. Okay. Well, I liked what I read, described as a trip through the desert on acid. And it took me back to Jim Morrison, like, you know, my greatest influence as a songwriter, performer.
Yeah.
And this one's a little deeper. Can you talk about the lyrical background on this one?
Yeah, definitely. So I'll give you just a brief summary of how it came about. So where I live in LA is in Woodland Hills, kind of the valley. And there was a night when I was going to pick up food for dinner. I was in my car and it was raining. It was last year. There were really bad rains in LA. I got food. I got back in my car. I was sitting in my car about to put on a song or something. And I heard my car just started shaking. I thought there was a terrible earthquake. I thought this was like the big one. You know, all the glass in my car started breaking. The roof of my car started coming in. And I just basically you know, ducked for cover. And I thought that was it. I crawled out of my car, climbed out of the roof, and I saw that this giant oak tree in this parking plaza that I was in had fallen on my car and about 20 other cars in the parking lot. But I was the only one in the car. And it fell in a way where it crushed every seat around my car except for my seat. Every single seat was crushed. It made the news. It was a whole thing. It was a big deal. And I was the only one who was in their car at the time. So long story short, after that, naturally, I started thinking about life and death and how, you know, it could happen at any time, even when you're going to pick up food. And then I sat down and I kind of thought, okay, what if there was this, you know, a little story, kind of like in the lieu of like A Devil Went Down to Georgia, Stairway to Heaven, kind of like, you know, story sort of tune, where a guy is kind of talking with the Reaper about, you know, crossing over. And, you know, that's where the song came from. Yeah, fortunately, it came from that pretty traumatic event that happened to me.
Oh, we'll play that and we'll come back and close out. And this is the Reaper. This is an interesting one. Everybody listen. And if you got headphones, this is a really good song with the headphones, and you're hearing it here on the MK Ultrasound podcast. There's some nice production, man. Really nice.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that is all Nate. Neighbor is what he goes by, but yeah, he's the master.
Nice. Before we close out, who are your musical influences? I know there were, the standard press kit things, name some bands, but your personal influences, music, writing, who would they be?
Yeah, I would say just off the top of my head, or Queens of the Stone Age is a huge. Josh Homme is a huge guy for me. Just kind of his vibe and his songwriting style for sure. Trent Reznor, Nine Inch Nails. I love their genre mashing and just kind of how you can't really place a one sound on them. I really dig that. And then I would say performance-wise, I like bands like the Hives, like Idols, or newer punk bands that kind of have just like very aggressive sort of stage presences, and how just their passion kind of shines through their performance. So just like a lot of guys like that are probably my main ones, I would say.
Got it. Did you watch that HBO series that only lasted a season called Vinyl?
I don't think that I did actually. No.
Scorsese produced it and co-produced it with Mick Jagger, and Mick Jagger's son had a role in it. Great. It got renewed and then it got dropped. It was crazy.
That's right.
Scorsese says he wishes he would have been more involved, because if you like the record industry like I do, the inside, the behind the scenes, the whole Casablanca story, and that was a movie that recently came out that didn't even touch on the book, but just those wild 1970s, the merger from punk rock into disco. That was a hell of a time, man. And that's what that series is all about. You should check it out if you get a chance. And unfortunately, I don't know why HBO Max doesn't have it on streaming.
Oh, weird. Yeah, I totally remember when that came out, and I meant to always watch it, but I guess I'll just have to try to find it somewhere now.
Yeah, I think you'd like it a lot. But hey, thanks for your time. Please stay in touch with us. Have Raquel keep us in touch. We'll, I'll update anything that you do on the website. You can read there. Go ahead and let everybody know how they can hear your music.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time. First of all, Alex, I really appreciate it, man. This was a blast. Yeah, you can check out my website, which is just blazefrancisco.com. It has everything on there, upcoming shows, links to our music, all that kind of stuff is on there. Instagram is kind of our big social media one. Just type in Blaze Francisco on there, and then Spotify, Apple Music, and we'll be putting out some stuff soon. Side Eye will be coming out in a couple months, so that'll be the next one.
This show will be up. This one will be up in about 20 minutes, so you can look forward to that. I'll have all the links and your information on there. Next week it's Dave McAnally, because it is Sunday the 17th, St. Patrick's Day in Chicago, man. And I don't know if you know about it, but I live right by Wrigley Field. The cops hate that day.
Oh, I believe it.
It is a people peeing and puking in the street. Just, you can't get any more R-worded than that, man. But that's part of what comes with
celebration.
Thank you, my friend. Stay in touch, and we'll talk to you soon. This is Alexander signing off for the MK Ultrasound podcast. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
You've been listening to the MK Ultrasound podcast from Chicago, Illinois, with your host, Alexander. Please click like and subscribe and share with your friends. Check us out online at mkultramagazine.com. And on behalf of the MK Ultrasound staff, thanks for listening, everybody.
All right, that was a hell of a guy, wasn't he? That Alex, nice Jewish guy, 2019 calendar, man. That's a first one for this show. Second Alex, we're going to try to get Alex Van Halen, Alex Lifeson. Who else is there? We'll find him. Just want to let everybody know that Dave McAnally's on next week. We'll be plugging the show. He's doing his first Outlaw Country acoustic show at the Brig. That'll be on Thursday. I believe that is the 21st. Let me just check on that one moment. Thursday the 21st, right after St. Patrick's Day. And that should be a hell of a time, because we're going to have to escape this neighborhood. As you heard me tell Alex, I live right by Wrigleyville. So, less than a mile from Wrigley Field, right down the street. So, look forward to bringing that show here. I want to thank Alex, Raquel. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Check us out, www.mkultramagazine.com. Please like and comment this show. Sign up for it. We keep you updated on everything. It costs you nothing but a second of your time. Thanks again, everybody.